Have you ever met someone on an online dating site and thought, wow, this guy is perfect for me, or she is simply amazing, only to find out they were hiding a deep, dark secret? They plan to vote for Hillary. FreedomLovers.us was created for singles who want to exchange ideas and a love for freedom. People who are looking for solutions to create and defend freedom in the real world, and at the same time, getting that once-in-a-lifetime chance to find their true soulmate. Whether you are interested in meeting your soulmate, making new friends, networking, or hanging out with that like-minded liberty lover, visit FreedomLovers.us. It's the first free dating site and community. So patriots, don't waste your time with other dating sites. FreedomLovers.us is the place where like-minded singles really click.
You're listening to Love, Guns and Freedom with Luca Zanna on Guerrilla Media Network. Hi, this is Luca Zanna. You're listening to Love, Guns and Freedom, and this is the third hour of the show. We talk about love and recipes. We need to live well, and we need to try to eat healthy. That's the idea. Remember, you are what you eat. Sometimes, we try to have simple things. Sometimes we don't have much time. Sometimes people don't have much money. So I'm trying to share with you some very simple recipes, delicious Italian recipes. I love Italian food. I'm from Rome, Italy. And something that you can do really with few little ingredients. Right now, for example, I'm doing today a very simple pasta. We will do probably some spaghetti. It's spaghetti with pomodoro e basilico. That means with tomato and basil. Simple as that. First of all, you need to boil the water for the pasta. I remind you that you need a beautiful steel pot. Steel pot is very good. Don't use aluminum. Do not use other pots that may have some sort of internal, sometimes they have all these different covering with different material, synthetic or Teflon. Stay away from that. So use a steel pot and use good water, please. If you can, use water that is not chlorinated and has no chemical inside, okay? I like to use water from my well that is also a water that is being purified. So it's beautiful, it tastes great, and believe it or not, it makes the difference also for the pasta. So I am filling my pot full of water, and what I have a fire on this pot boiling the water. Simple as that. So let's start to boil the water. Meanwhile, next step, we need to start to prepare the sauce. The sauce is very simple. As the name I said, it's spaghetti with pomodoro and basilico. Pomodoro is tomato. Basilico means basil. So we gotta get two ingredients. But there is also another ingredient that I didn't say. It's called garlic, aglio. Now, simple as that. You can make a beautiful, delicious recipe of pasta, and healthy, in my opinion, with just these little ingredients. But the ingredients must be good. Now, if it's summertime, if you have tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, great. You use fresh tomatoes. But now, for this experiment, for this recipe, we will use something that is very easy to have access. There are tomato in a can. Canned tomato. Now, not all the canned tomato are the same. You can get different brand, different type. I like the best ingredients because I really believe we are what we eat. And for a few cents more, you can get, for example, organic tomatoes. Okay? Right now, I have in front of me something that I got from Walmart. It's Moore Glen organic tomato, diced tomato. USDA organic. They cost probably 50 cents more than the regular tomato. So we got the tomato. We have a beautiful pan. Normally I like to use cast iron. We warm up the pan. We have to put some little bit of oil. I always use extra virgin olive oil. About probably 4 tablespoons, okay? Not too much, but don't be cheap. So it's very important that you have the oil well spread all over the pan. And now we put the fire on low medium. Now before we put the tomato, we must add into the oil about 4 or 5 small garlic cloves. I said already before, you can grow your own garlic. It's so simple. We will do a show just how to grow garlic. It's so easy. But if you have to buy garlic, please be sure, number one, is not from China. Believe it or not, now garlic comes from also overseas. And try to get also garlic that is organic. I suggest you that. So normally I grow my own garlic. That's what I have. So I got my garlic, and I cut them in half, very simply, and I'll put them into the pan. Meanwhile, I let this garlic go for about a couple minutes just to start to saute the garlic, make them a little golden. And at that point, I will tell you pretty soon, we will add the tomato. Meanwhile, we have the pasta, the water for the pasta is boiling, or at least start to boil. And we prepare the pasta. That means let's see which pasta we're going to get. Today, I'm in the mood for, let's see, I am here in my super survivalist pantry. I have probably about every type of pasta I want. And today, I'm in the mood for some spaghetti. I know in America you say spaghetti. I like to say spaghetti Italian way. So, today I will go with the fettuccine, not even spaghetti, fettuccine, organic fettuccine imported from Italy. Here we go. It's a pound of pasta, okay? So we're gonna have fettuccine, and this pound is supposed to be for about 4 people, normal people. When it comes to me, maybe I can do it this one by myself with maybe a friend. So see you soon. Don't go away. Meanwhile, we got the water boiling. The garlic is sauteed into the pan. The can of tomato, organic tomato, is already open. And what we do, we prepare the water with some salt. That means we add some salt into the water. When the water is boiling, you start to add some salt. I use only sea salt. Sea salt, in my opinion, is the best, especially if it has iodide. Okay? Do not use the cheap salt. How much sea salt? It's up to you. Don't put too much, because you can always add it later. Okay? So right now the water is ready to boil. The garlic is ready at this point. What I will do, I will start to prepare the tomato, because I want to cook this tomato no more than 10 minutes. All I want to do is remove the water from the can. Okay guys, now the garlic is ready. What I did, I added the tomato in the pan. Temperature for the heating, you don't want more than medium, okay? All you want to do is simmer a little bit and remove this water from the tomato, okay? You don't want to overcook the tomato. This is normally no more than 10 minutes, honestly. I know that some of you maybe has recipes that you cook the tomato for hours. This is not the recipe, okay? I believe that if you want to have a fresh sauce, especially when you have fresh tomatoes, the best way is to just remove the water and no more than 15 minutes. This is my taste. This is where I'm from. Now, the tomatoes are here in the pan. Meanwhile, I stir it up a little bit with the garlic and the oil. It's important now we start to add a little bit of sea salt, about probably, I would say, maybe, just a sprinkle, half teaspoon, okay? It's your personal taste. You can always add later if you want, okay? I just sprinkle it around. Then at that point, the sea salt is there. A little bit of ground pepper into the pan with the tomato. Okay. Now we go for the next few minutes. We let it simmer, okay? Now I went to my little garden and I got some beautiful, let's say a cup of basil. Even less than a cup, but I like a little extra. It's fresh basil. I know you can buy the basil, but I tell you, even if you live in an apartment or in a city or wherever, it's so easy. It's a little beautiful vase. You can grow basil everywhere you are. two benefits. First of all, it's healthier, it's cleaner, you know who's touching it, and more important also, I think, or as important, it's cheaper. You know, it's very expensive if you buy organic basil at the shop, at the grocery. So, I got my basil. Now, the basil, all I do, I remove the stem and I leave the leaves. I don't need to do anything fancy, very simply. I just wanted the leaves and I remove the branch, okay? And I start to break down with my hands the leaves, because when you break them down, you start to pretty much release the flavor. You open the plant, you open the leaf, and you spread the flavor in a much more efficient way, in my opinion, okay? So, but I'm not going to put the basil yet. I do not want to overcook the basil. The basil I put it at the end, almost only the last 2 minutes, even less, because I want the basil still fresh. It's going to release the flavor, make this pasta very simple but tasty, with a great fragrance of basil and tomato. Now, the water is almost boiling. At this point, I started with the idea of spaghetti, but I like to change plans. I always believe that you make plans to change them. So I went to fettuccine, changed my mind. So we will call this recipe Fettuccine Pomodoro e Basilico. It means tomato and basil. Now, I'm opening the box. There we go. The last ingredient that I want to have ready is the pecorino cheese. I have two different cheese you could use. One is pecorino, one is parmesan. They would work both. I like normally more pecorino because it's from an animal, the sheep, not the cows. A little stronger flavor, but you can also use parmesan, okay? Do not buy this sort of a funny parmesan already grated, especially from big brands that normally it's all processed cheese. Try to buy the real piece of cheese that it looks and it really says pecorino or parmigiano, and it's cheese that you can see it's aged, okay? Doesn't come already pre-grated. So now we need to grate this cheese. How much cheese? It's your taste. Normally for a pound of pasta, I would say at least 1 cup of cheese. So I'm preparing now the cheese. Meanwhile the water is boiling. Tomato, they are pretty much going here in the pan with the garlic. The water is simmering. I'm ready to go. This is so simple, guys. Seriously. That's the beautiful thing about these recipes. They are poor cuisine recipes, but doesn't mean because they're poor means they are not healthy or delicious. They are very good. Okay, now I know many of you say, carbohydrates or whatever, pasta, it's bad for you, gluten, whatever, guys. You do what you want, and I'm not going to tell you, but I think if you're healthy, if you move your body, if you don't stay 20 hours in front of the computer, pasta, it's a great fuel. It's a great carb, a natural source of energy, especially if it's organic. And once in a while, honestly, it's really good. I like it a lot. Now, tomato, you have a lot of great qualities in the tomatoes, in my opinion. And so the garlic, and so the olive, especially is extra virgin. So you have, in my opinion, without giving any type of medical advices, I think that this food is much better than when you eat garbage at some fast food. That's for starter. And it's tasty and also is economic. Now, this show it's about love, but also is about try to understand the times we are living in right now. The economy sucks, thanks to Obama and all the communists. So we gotta try to enjoy life, and especially if you have a family, we need to try to also look at the economic factor. So far I have here 1 can of tomato, probably about, less than $2, $2 and a half. Let's say $3, you get a big, depends where you live. Basil, it's free, I grow my own. Garlic, it's free. Extra virgin olive oil, probably 50 cents, maybe less than that. I buy a bottle from, Trader Joe's, and I can get it for probably $6.99 for the big bottle. Anyway, and pasta, $1.49 for organic pasta, okay? So far, for less than $5, including the cheese, I can feed at least 4 people. And in a beautiful, also, and very healthy way. Not bad. So stay tuned. Let me finish here a little bit the cooking part, and don't go away. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman.
I'm not afraid.
And a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth.
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Gianluca Zanna.
I'm not afraid.
And his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Gianluca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.
Okay guys, the water is boiling. There is already sea salt inside, tomato pretty much. I'm almost now ready to turn it down because I don't want it to dry. I want it just enough that the water is gone and it looks juicy, and there is still enough to completely hug pasta. Okay, so at this point I turn the tomato down, the fire down. Okay, I have the basil already chopped it. Now since the fire is down, I can start to sprinkle the basil. As I said, just chop the leaves with your hands, don't stress about it. This is not French cuisine, nothing artistic. We are doing simple things but good things. But this basil now, I stir it up in the tomato that they are still hot, and you will see it start to pretty much, it looks almost like it's cooking, but it is not really cooking. It is just now hugging the pasta and spreading the flavor of the basil, in the tomato, okay? Now, it's time to drop the pasta. Here we go. Fettuccine. I know you call it fettuccine. I'm an American now, I still call it fettuccine. That's the way we say in Rome. Okay, fettuccine, organic fettuccine, all down into the water that is boiling, okay? Simple as that. Now, how long this pasta must cook? As I said many times, you just taste it. There is some sort of generic directions on each package. This one probably says, let's see, about 8 minutes, but what I do, I don't even read anymore the directions. I just know that I start to see the pasta, and when I see that it starts to be ready, I taste it. Remember, you want it al dente. Do not overcook it, okay? You don't want to have a floppy, terrible pasta. So it's a little bit of an art. There is no exact science. You can taste it. Be sure that when you remove the pasta from the water, when you drain the pasta still will continue to cook for a while because it's still hot. So it's kind of a little bit of an art. You will learn it. Meanwhile, I'm grating the cheese because I chose that I want to use some pecorino cheese. That's my cheese of choice for the day. And I will prepare my cup of pecorino right now. Okay, now I'm grating the cheese. Don't forget to wash your hands, okay? When you touch food, especially if you come from the range, like normally I do. When I touch guns and powder, every time hands must be washed after. So this is the perfect meal, especially after you come from the range. You're a little bit in rush, or you want something nice. You don't want to load up yourself with a bunch of meat. Enjoy something lighter, I think healthier in my opinion. You don't get the hormones, and now they put in meat. When you eat meat now, especially cows, you have all these steroids and estrogens. And you really need to kill the cow. I mean, it's up to you. I don't like to kill cows unless I am really starving. So, here we go. I got my beautiful pecorino cheese grated, freshly grated. 1 cup, let it sit here. Meanwhile, my tomatoes are sitting there in the pan with the basil and the garlic and the oil. a little bit of salt and ground pepper. Let it sit. The spaghetti, the fettuccine, they are boiling. We're almost there. Pretty soon I will taste it. Simple as that. That's pretty much almost there. Okay, so don't go away. Now we are ready to drain the pasta, and we will have fettuccine, pomodoro, and basilic. Guess what I'm doing now? I'm draining the pasta. It's going to be kind of difficult because I'm holding pasta with one hand, the pot, microphone with the other one. Here we go. Don't burn yourself. Be careful. Now, I drain it. Guess what? And I toss it into the pan. Meanwhile, what I did, I turned the fire on, like on medium-low. The same fire that I have on for the tomato. Because right now I have all my pasta in the pan with the tomato, the garlic, and the basil. Why? Because this is the moment of final love. There's a big hug. It's a hug between pasta, the tomato, and all the rest of the ingredients. You want to let it sit here for about probably 2 minutes. That's why you want the pasta al dente, that you want to be sure it's not going to be overcooked. Now what I do, the pasta is still pretty much hugging the tomato, reduce the fire to pretty much 0, and start to sprinkle around cheese. You want the cheese, be sure that it's sprinkled everywhere. Otherwise you're going to have a blob, okay? So, let it sit. Let it sit with love, okay? It's about probably a couple minutes. All these are taking together the ingredients. And now I'm preparing the plate. And I will put on top a little piece of basil, just for decoration. And also you can eat it, of course. And you have a beautiful fettuccine, pomodoro, and basilico.
He's a songwriter, a poet, a rifleman,
I'm not afraid.
and a constitutional activist.
I'm not afraid.
Italian by birth,
I'm not afraid.
American by choice. Luca Zanna
I'm not afraid.
and his new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom. 16 powerful songs on one CD from the heart of a patriot. For download or to order the CD, go to www.lovegunsfreedom.com. That's www.lovegunsfreedom.com. Lyrics for your mind, music for your heart. Luca Zanna's new CD, Love, Guns, and Freedom.